Hi, this is Lisa Somerville for Divinity Designs. Today I'm here to share with you the release for May 2023. This month we are releasing one stamp die duo, one foil die duo, one foiling plate, one custom die, one paper die duo, and one refill paper pad. The stamp die duo, all occasions 2. This is a set of 20. It includes both the stamps and the dies. You can always tell our stamp die duos because they're printed in black and purple on the packaging. The purple does indicate dies. Again, this is the All Occasions 2 stamp die duo. And here you can see the clear stamps and also the dies. When using our clear stamps, I'd like to use a sanding block to go back and forth over the stamp. That will help remove any film or residue that may be left on the stamp. Then simply clean your stamp, ink it with a fresh ink pad, and then stamp or heat emboss on cardstock. After stamping or heat embossing, center the die over the stamped or heat embossed sentiment. Use removable tape to hold that die in place, then die cut following the directions for your die cutting machine. Remove the cardstock from the die, and then you can use that stamped or heat embossed element to embellish your cards, scrapbook pages, or home decor projects. Next, we have our All Occasion 2 foiling die duo. This is a set of 20. Anytime you see yellow on our packaging, that does indicate that it is a foiling product. You need a foil machine and a coordinating die cutting machine to use our foiling products. Again, the yellow indicates a foil product. The purple indicates it does include dies. The foil machine heats the foil. The die cutting machine presses the foil to the cardstock. Again, this is the All Occasion 2 foiling die duo. Here you can see the individual foiling words and the individual dies. And here you can see Hello Friend from the All Occasion 2 foiling die duo used on a completed project. For best results when foiling, always trim your foil to the size of the foiling plates. To prevent excess foiling, you can swipe your cardstock with an embossing buddy. When foiling, the pretty side of the foil will be face down on top of the foiling plates. Then you'll add your cardstock and foil following the directions for both your foiling and your die cutting machine. Again, the foiling machine heats the foil. The die cutting machine presses the foil into the cardstock. If you do end up with any excess foiling, you can always use a sand eraser to remove that foil. And here you can see some of the sentiments silver foiled on white cardstock using the All Occasion 2 foiling die duo set. Just like with our stamp die duos, you'll center that die over the foiled sentiment. Use removable tape to hold that die in place, then die cut following the directions for your die cutting machine. Remove the foiled sentiment from the die and then use to embellish your cards, scrapbook pages, or home decor projects. Here you see the positive foiling where you have silver foil on white cardstock. You can also use the negative area of your foil. To use the negative area of your foil, you'll use our solid foiling plates. Again, to use our foiling products, you need a foil machine and a coordinating die cutting machine. Here's an example of positive foiling, and here's an example of negative foiling. That brings us to our next foiling product, the floral foiling plate. Again, anytime you see yellow on our packaging or our web images, that does indicate that it's a hot foil product. You need a hot foiling machine along with a coordinating die cutting machine. Here's another example using the floral foiling plate. This time I've used purple foil on white cardstock. And shown here is rainbow foil on black cardstock. And again, we have the green foil on white cardstock. The negative foiling using the solid foiling plates. For more tips using our foiling products, visit our YouTube channel or the product pages for our foiling products. Next, we have our paper die duo and our refill paper pad. The paper die duo being released this month is Graduating Gnomes. This paper die duo contains 12 graduating gnomes 6x9 papers, 2 sheets per paper, along with 1 coordinating gnomes die set. The die can be found on the back of the packaging. And here's the 6x9 graduating gnomes. You'll notice on all of our paper die duos, there is a rectangle drawn around the pre-colored images. You'll simply center that die over the pre-colored images. Then use removable tape to hold that die in place and die cut following the directions for your die cutting machine. That will leave you with the pre-colored die cut gnomes that you can use on your card, scrapbook pages, or home decor projects. Instead of adding dimensionals to the back of my paper die duos, I simply die cut additional pieces using white or colored cardstock. That way I can use Barely Art Craft glue to stack my die cuts for added dimension. And that's what I've done here on this card and also my die cut words. I did the same thing here with my foiled sentiments, adding additional die cuts to stack the sentiment. And just like with our other paper die duos, we also have a refill paper pad. This is the Graduating Gnomes refill paper pad. It coordinates with the Graduating Gnomes paper die duo. Please note that our refill pads do not include the die needed to die cut the pre-colored images. The Graduating Gnomes refill paper pad contains 12 Graduating Gnomes 6x9 papers, 2 sheets per paper. Again, the refill pads do not include the die needed to die cut the pre-colored images. And the last product that I have to share with you is our cash and check pocket die set. This is a set of 5. And here's a completed project using this die set along with additional Divinity Designs products. The cash and check product contains the base die and 4 layering dies. Here you can see 2 of the layering dies. And here we have the pocket card and the other 2 remaining layering dies. So here you can see the base card. When you die cut this, it will die cut and score for you. Here we have 2 of the layering dies and 2 of the larger layering dies. When die cutting the layering dies, be sure to die cut and emboss these dies to bring out the detail of the dies. If you'd like to reinforce your score marks so that your cardstock doesn't crack, you can use a score buddy along with a bone folder. Then fold on all the score marks and use the bone folder for a nice crisp score. You'll then apply adhesive to that bottom flap. I'm using score tape. Simply remove the backing from the score tape and fold that flap up. Then press down on the cardstock to secure to the tape. Now you're set to embellish your cash and check pocket card. Because I wanted to embellish both the outside and the inside of the larger flap, I die cut and embossed the larger layering dies twice out of cardstock and pattern paper. I'm going to adhere the pattern paper to the cardstock and then adhere to the cash and check pocket card. Here you can see those layering panels adhere to the front and the inside of that larger panel. Next, we'll take the smaller layering dies, adhere the pattern paper to the cardstock, and then adhere to the bottom of the cash and check pocket card. Now you're all set to embellish your cash and check pocket card. And here you have the completed cash and check pocket card along with additional Divinity Designs products. And here's another cash and check pocket card. And finally, another cash and check pocket card. Now I'd like to share with you some inspiration with projects created by our design team. If you have any questions about the project shown in the video, you can use the Leave a Message button on our website to send us an email. For more inspiration using these and other additional Divinity Designs products, visit the product pages on our website, like us on Facebook, or follow us on Pinterest and Instagram.